So just one leg in front of the other. If that doesn't feel quite comfortable, you can always do a butterfly or legs out more in a V shape. And then start to lift up through the spine. Make it really obvious at first and then settle into it a little bit more comfortably. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. And then just listening to my voice, allow the eyes to gently close, moving inward. And feel your own breath. And you might not have even done that before, to feel your own breath. And then placing one hand over the heart, feeling your heartbeat. Once you start to feel your own heartbeat, placing one hand over your belly, feeling your baby inside. Taking these moments to connect with that little person growing inside of you. Feeling the rise and the fall of the chest. Feeling the movement in your belly. And take some intentional breaths in and out, however it feels comfortable for you, as deep as you can go. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Let it almost be like a flow of a wave coming in and out. Notice where you might be holding any tension. Perhaps it's in the eyebrows. Let the eyebrows relax. Maybe it's in the jaw. Maybe even opening and closing the jaw. From your breath and the connection with your baby, know that throughout the practice today, it's about connecting with your baby with every posture that we do. Releasing the hands, bring the chin towards the chest, releasing the head side to side, letting go of any tension in the muscles in the neck. Maybe holding it in a spot that feels like you just need a little bit longer time there. No need to rush through it. And then gazing over the right shoulder. Back to neutral, gaze over the left shoulder. Back to neutral. Shoulders come up towards the ears, roll the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, exhale down, inhale up, exhale, roll it back. And reverse, inhale up, exhale, roll it forward. Notice where there's stagnant energy in the breath, or where it's really flowing effortlessly, and keep your awareness on the breath. Back to neutral, hands come towards the heart, inhale, lift high. Exhale, forward, come down on the fingertips, palms, maybe the forearms. Notice the difference from last week or the week before or last time we were in class, where you might not be able to fold forward as much because baby's growing. And know that that's a beautiful sign that you're getting closer to meeting your baby in person. Inhale, rounding up through the back, hands come towards the heart. Inhale, lift high. Exhale, come down on the right palm or the forearm, reaching over. And maybe you take that left hand and massage through the left side of the body or through the left side of the back. Press up through the right palm. The left arm crosses the right knee. Bring the right palm behind the right hip. Use the leverage in the palm to lift gently up. This is just a gentle, soft twist. Gaze can be to the side or maybe even all the way back. Release to center. Inhale, lift high. Exhale to the left side. Come down on the left palm or the forearm, reaching over. And maybe even rubbing or massaging through the right side. And pressing up through the left arm. The right arm crosses the opposite knee. Twist to the left. Left palm is behind the left hip. Lift tall. Release to center. Hands come towards the knees. Reach the chest over the left knee. Over to the center, over to the right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, circle it around. Inhaling up, exhaling around. Reversing whenever your body asks for it. Inhale up, exhale it around. Keep the breath moving the body, not the body moving the breath. Coming back to a still point. Shift forward into tabletop. The hands are going to be right underneath the shoulders. Knees are underneath the hips. So knees are about hip distance apart. And then rocking the hips side to side. Swaying it. And then even sway it more, almost like waves moving in and out. So let it be flowing. Flow, flow, flow. And then bringing the hips back towards the heels, up, around, and over like you're drawing a circle with the hips. Inhaling up, exhale, pressing it back. And reversing, inhale up, exhale, circle it back. Inhale up, exhale back. Back to neutral. Cat stretch. So we're rounding through the back and scooping through the pelvis. So as you scoop through the pelvis, really tuck and scoop. And then press down gently through the palms. Tuck the chin in. Come back to a flat back. Inhale, rounding through the back. Tuck and scoop through the pelvis. Exhale, back to a flat back. 2 more. Inhale, rounding. Exhale, flat back. 1 more. Inhale, round. 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 Exhale Exhale to a flat back. Spinal balance. Bring the right arm out, almost like you're reaching out to shake someone's hand. The left leg reaches back. Reach back through that left leg. Right arm, left heel. Exhale down, switch sides. Left arm reaches out, right heel presses back. Exhale down, switch sides. Right arm, left heel presses back. Draw the elbow in towards the knee, so we're hugging our baby here. Round through the back. Hold it here for 3, 2, 1. Exhale it out. Inhale, elbow to knee. Exhale it out. Inhale, elbow to knee. Good. Exhale it out. One more. Release it down. Switch sides. Inhale, left arm. Right heel presses out. Elbow to knee. Hold it here for 3, 2, 1. Exhale it out. Inhale, elbow to knee. Exhale it out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. And 1. Exhale it down, tabletop. Bring the chest all the way down towards the mat for puppy dog. As we come down, bringing the chest towards the mat, we're lifting the hips up high, maybe even reaching the arms out, relaxing the forehead down. So we're kind of like surrendering our heart space towards the earth. Let the jaw be soft. Relax the glutes. Let go of any clenching. This really gives the hip flexors a break and those round ligaments that get stretched out so much. It gives them a little bit of a break from holding your baby. And lifting up through the chest, tabletop. Coming into a squat. If you have your yoga block, you can take your yoga block and place it right underneath the hips to sit on. If you don't have a block, that's okay. You can always just come down. Beautiful, everyone. Yes, have those yoga blocks ready when you go into labor, having them at home and bringing them into the birthing rooms. Relax the shoulders. Bring the feet as wide as it feels comfortable apart. And then notice where you might be holding tension in the hips. And then just let the hips drop down. Soften through all the muscles in the face. We're here for one more breath in. Check in with the breath. Exhale it out. Hands come towards the mat. Start to lift up through the hips. Starting to straighten out the legs just a little bit. Not all the way, just kind of feel this out with the hips lifted. And then exhale, bring the hips back down towards the block or down towards the earth. Inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale, bring the hips down. And one more. Inhale, lift the hips up. And bend the knees just halfway. Bring the elbows towards the knees. So it's almost like a football, like a hiking of a football. And then gently rock your baby down. Rock the hips up and down. Notice where you're breathing or not breathing. And then start to breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. You might start to feel this in the legs a little bit. And then inhale, rounding up through the back, slowly, slowly coming up. Inhale, lift the arms up high towards the sky. Exhale, heart center. Woo. Inhale, lift high. Exhale, heart center. We're going to move through a couple of these. Inhaling, lifting the arms. Exhale, heart center. One more inhale. Exhale, heart center. Moving into warrior two. So we're bringing that right leg forward. The left leg is all the way back. So in that warrior two, right knee is right over the right ankle. We're opening up through the hips, opening up through the arms. If that doesn't quite feel good for your arms, you can always bring the hands to heart center. And then these standing postures, try to find comfort in any discomfort. So sometimes that comfort comes in with a little pulsing. So sometimes, pulsing through that front leg a little bit helps. Or that bee's breath, that humming. That humming can be really soothing to the neurological system. And straightening out the right leg. Reach the arms up high towards the sky. Exhale the arms back down. Coming to a straddle, bring that right big toe over so the big toes are going to be even with the heels for your straddle. Inhale, lift high. Exhale, roll the shoulders back, press the palms together, lift and puff up through the chest. And hinge forward. Hinge at the hips. And maybe bring the hands away from the back, or maybe not. Listen to your body. And notice how your baby shifts and moves too, or starts to wake up or falls asleep. Hands come to the back, hands float all the way down to the mat. And then bending through the knees. So we're bending through the knees as much as it feels comfortable, and then straightening through the legs, lifting the hips up. Press down through the heels, and then bending through the knees, and straightening through the legs. Press down through the heels when the legs are straight, and one more bending and straightening. And the arms reach out to the side or towards the thighs to start to lift up through the chest. Once you lift up through the chest, bring the heels in and the toes out for goddess pose. And you might have to sumo wrestle that out a little bit, kind of shifting and finding that spot that feels right. Once you find that spot, sink the hips low. Draw the elbows in towards the waist. And then reach the arms out, straighten out the legs, 5-pointed star, lift through the chest. Exhale, goddess pose, bending through the knees, draw the elbows in. And straightening. And bending. Inhaling and exhaling, moving through a couple of these. If it feels good for you, maybe even sweep all the way down for scooping up through the sunflowers. Inhaling up, exhale, lowering down. Move through it, what feels comfortable. Beautiful, everyone. And on this next one, sink down into goddess pose. Lift through the chest. And maybe even place your hands on your belly over your baby. Knowing that all of this is for your baby. Straightening out the legs. Walk the feet together, heel to toe together. And shake that out, let that go. Let it go. And then switching sides. Left leg comes forward, right leg comes back, and warrior two on the side. Left knee is over the left ankle, reach the arms out. Relax the shoulders. Again, find comfort and discomfort, right? Because going into labor, labor is not always a comfortable thing. So we have to find tools to find comfort in it. When we can find that comfort, it's going to allow all the beautiful hormones to relax you and soften you. That oxytocin, that love hormone, can come out and the cortisol levels come down. Straightening out the left leg, lift the arms up high. Exhale the arms back down to the side, coming into a straddle. Bring the big toes even with the heels in your side straddle. Inhale, lift the arms up high, roll the shoulders back, press the palms together, lift and puff up through the chest, hinge forward. Maybe you bring the hands away from the back. Hands come to the back, hands float all the way down to the mat. Coming into frog pose, we're going to bring the right knee down, or the left, it doesn't matter which side really, and the left knee, both knees come down. The knees are as wide as it feels comfortable. The feet are coming out, and then start to press the hips gently back. They might not go back very far. And then maybe come down on the forearms, or maybe even come down on a block. If you have your block there, it might feel comfortable. Or maybe even stack the fists and relax the forehead down. Or come all the way down. We're going to be here for several breaths. Notice where you're holding on. Notice where there's tension. And then breathe into that space of resistance or where you're holding. We're breathing in and breathing out. Present moment awareness. Only on the breath. And check in with the pelvic floor. Just kind of tune in with the pelvic floor. It's that spot, if you were to urinate, it's that spot where we hold on until we get to the bathroom. And maybe even do a couple kegels here if you can get a hold of that pelvic floor. In this position, can be really challenging to even feel where that pelvic floor is. One more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, slowly coming up. Slowly draw the knees towards one another. And then just gently rocking the hips side to side. Noticing the difference of how your hips feel after a frog. And press the right heel all the way back. So we're pushing through the right heel. You can rock through the right heel or even just hold it and press. Good. You might feel the calf stretching. Releasing. And draw the right knee in towards the chest. Hug your baby. Round through the back. Exhale, press the right heel back. And then walk the right leg over to the side. As that right leg reaches over, start to walk the hands over, bending through the right leg, opening up the hips about 30 to 35% more as we walk it over. Relax the head. Relax the shoulders. Soften through the jaw, soften through the forehead. Let everything relax here. Yes, you can always use your block. Bring the hands on the block, or maybe even come down on the forearms if that feels right in your body and with your baby. And then straightening out the right leg, getting into the hamstrings a little bit more. As you straighten out the right leg, in that spot of resistance, taking a breath in and exhaling it. Couple breaths just like that. Bending through the right leg and straightening and bending. A little bit more of a dynamic flow here by straightening and bending and bending and straightening. Feel free to hold it in a spot a little bit longer if that feels right in your body. So like Rachel, you were talking about those hamstrings, so maybe you just hold it just a little bit longer there. Really getting deeper into it. And straightening out the right leg. Walk the hands back over to tabletop. Bring that right leg back. Press back through the right heel and then back to tabletop. And then just for a moment, just feel this out. Notice how the right hip, the right leg feels different from the left leg. Just have a curiosity about how that little bit of movement changed the way the right leg feels. And then the other side is begging for attention, right? We're going to press back through the left leg. We didn't forget about you, left leg. And maybe you rock through the left heel, or maybe you just press it. And know that it doesn't have to be the same. Maybe the left side, oftentimes people have the left leg is a little bit tighter, depending on your stance, or your right leg or left leg dominant. But most people's left leg is a little bit tighter. And then hug the left knee in, round through the back. Press the left leg back, opening up the left leg to the side. Stabilize there first, and then start to bend through the left leg. Walk the hands over. Maybe coming down on the block with the hands, maybe coming down on the forearms. Notice the difference from one side to the other. If there's a really big difference that you notice, which you may, just notice it. Have a curiosity about what that's about. And then straightening through the left leg, getting a little bit deeper into the hamstrings. You might feel a stretch in the lower back as well. And more of a dynamic flow by bending through the left leg and straightening and bending, inhaling and exhaling. And straightening out the left leg. Walk the hands back to center for tabletop. The left leg comes back. And then back to tabletop. Shifting the hips back and forth just to balance that out a little bit. Or whatever movement feels good in the body to let that balance out. Good. And just to release that out a little bit more, shift the hips gently forward into more of a gentle, soft cobra. Nothing too pushing or pulling. And then inhale, lift the hips up. Gently press the hips back to child's pose. Inhale, lift, tabletop. Exhale, a gentle cobra, releasing the hips forward. Nothing too pushing or pulling. If it feels good for you, maybe even bring the knees wide apart. And just kind of feel that out. If it feels good, maybe even bring the heels up. So we're just exploring the body a little bit here. Good, beautiful, everyone. One more. And child's pose, reach the arms out, relax the forehead down. We're not here for too long. We're just reconnecting with our breath, reconnecting with your baby. And pull through the palms, tabletop. Crossing the legs behind, or just coming down to a seated position first, however that is for you. And then we're going to make our way down onto our backs. If it doesn't feel right on your back because of the position of your baby or just breathing or whatever it is, I'm going to show you a side lying posture option. Otherwise, we're going to find our way onto our backs. Draw the knees in. If that doesn't feel good on your back, you can always come to the side, draw the knees in. Either way is fine. As you guide the knees in, press the heels straight up towards the sky. Use your hands for support behind the knees. And then rotating through the ankles, rotating the ankles around. And then pointing and flexing through the feet. And then we're going to do little flaps here, almost like you're swimming in the water. So flapping through the feet, kind of moving fast. Good. Yeah, let that circulation come into the calves and the ankles and the feet. And this can help with any fluid buildup in those lower legs and ankles to get the circulation going. And then hug it in, knees are nice and wide. Feel that out in your feet. It might feel a little tingly or a little circulation sensation. Happy baby. Soles of the feet come up towards the sky. Draw the knees in towards the armpits. Guide the tailbone down. And an option to come to the side too. It's always an option just to do a side lying happy baby if that feels better for you. And that left leg or that one of the legs can be straight or bent. Kind of feel it out in your body if you want that side lying position. If you're side lying, bring that knee towards the elbow on the one leg. Good. If you're on the side, make sure you do the other side too. And then close up the legs like a book. We're going to roll onto whatever side feels best for you right now because we're going to do both sides. So as you find a side lying position, you can use your arm as a prop. The bottom leg is bent. And then hug the right knee in towards the shoulder. So hug that knee in. If you have a strap, have it nearby you as well, or a scarf works well. And then we're going to place that strap or the scarf right on the ball of the foot to start to straighten out the leg. So we're pulling this straight leg in and hug it in. Good, everyone. And if you don't have the strap, that's okay. You can just use your hand behind the knee too to pull in. Beautiful. Yep, that's right, Lori. Good. And hug the right knee back in. And then release it down. We're going to switch sides. So as you roll on to the other side, you can use your arm for support here. The bottom leg is bent. Start to hug the left knee in towards the left armpit. And hug it in. And then straightening out the left leg, you can bring that strap on the ball of the foot and draw that straight leg in. Or if you don't have that strap, you can just support it behind the knee too. Straightening out the leg as much as it feels comfortable for you. And this might be just where it's at. Maybe even not even straightening the leg at all. Good. And hug the left knee back in. And rolling onto our backs. One more time on our back. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Knees come wide apart and then circle them around. Bring them in and out. Circle them in and apart from one another. And then reversing that rotation, circle them apart and back in together. Soles of the feet come into the earth, preparing for bridge. Palms are going to come face down, and the fingertips are almost touching the heels. And then scooping through the pelvis, make that little scoop in the pelvis, and then slowly come up, lifting up through the hips, lifting up through the chest, press down through the palms. Use the palms and the heels to lift up through the hips. Exhale, slowly come down, rolling down from the upper to middle to lower back and releasing the scoop. Inhale, scoop through the pelvis, slowly roll up, lifting. It's like a little ride for your baby, right? Lifting and lowering. Your baby's like, oh, what are we doing? Lift and lower. It's like a little teeter-totter. I think that's why they like the teeter-totter so much. The little kids do. Because of bridge pose. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, lowering. And then if it feels good for you, maybe stay lifted. Or if you have that block, you can put the block right underneath the hips to help support in more of a supported bridge. You can bring that block right underneath that sacral area, that sacrum, that lower bone in the lower back. And if you're lifted, exhale, roll it down from the lower to middle to upper back. For your release, maybe release the knees side to side. If that feels good for you, side to side. Coming into butterfly, the soles of the feet come together, the knees are wide. Relax the hips, soften the jaw, the neck gets long. Relax the shoulders. We're here for several breaths in, several breaths out. Closing the knees together like a book and preparing for deep relaxation. If there's another posture that you would like to finish up with, go ahead and do that for whatever release feels good. And otherwise, as we prepare for relaxation, I highly recommend, especially since you're in your own home, a lot of you have a chair or a couch right there, to come onto your back if it feels comfortable to come onto your back, and then swing the legs up onto the couch or the chair. Or if you have some firm pillows, that's right, Lori. I always think it feels kind of like a little massage for the calves. And as you prepare for deep relaxation, start to tune into your breath, tune into your baby. Take as much time as you need to come into this. And you can always do seated or side lying posture too, placing a pillow between the knees. And we're going to start Shavasana with the breath. Taking 3 deep breaths in, 3 loud exhales out, and open mouth breath in. Open mouth exhale. Let your whole household hear what's going on. Breath in. One more, let it go. My doggy always knows that it's towards the end of class when he starts to hear my breath do that. So he's like, oh, yoga's almost done. As you find your Shavasana, allow the eyes to gently close. And let's just do a roving relaxation throughout the body. Imagine the scalp on your head is getting some nice massage and smoothing out any tension areas. And that flows down through the forehead, releasing through the eyebrows, maybe even lift up through the eyebrows and relax them out. And then the cheeks and the face. Soften. And check in with the jaw. The jaw is almost like an energetic connection to the cervix and your glutes. So if your jaw is tight, more than likely you're going to be holding on to the hip area. So maybe open and close the jaw and release that out. Let the outside corners of the mouth relax down towards the earth. Let Earth's gravity soften the lips. Give the tongue a little break. The tongue doesn't need to eat, drink, or talk right now. Melt the shoulders away from the ears. The softness coming down through the chest, the lower back, and a comfort, almost like a blanket of comfort around your belly and your hips, creating a soothing energy around the whole belly and around your whole baby, all of your hip area. A blanket of comfort, releasing any tension in the hips, allowing that flow of softness to come down through the legs, letting the ankles drop loose. allow yourself to drift off for a few moments. Your baby knows when you're letting go and feeling comfort. Your baby feels all of that. Your body is full of wisdom. It knows exactly how to birth your baby without you thinking about it at all. And saying to yourself, I am strong. I am a strong mama. I am a brave mother. I am brave. I am full of courage. I am a courageous mother. And I am grateful. I am grateful. Your baby and your body hear, sense, and feel all of those positive messages. Staying here as long as you would like, or wiggling the fingers and the toes, drawing the knees in towards the chest and rolling to your side in the fetal position, you and your baby in the fetal position together. Maybe even using your arm as a pillow. And staying here as long as you would like, or taking your time rolling back up into a seated position, whatever feels comfortable for you. Hands come towards the heart, lifting high to the sky. Exhale the hands to the forehead, to the mouth, heart center, and down to your baby. The mother in me is inspired and honored by the mother in each of you. Namaste. Thank you everyone for coming to class. I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions?